Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darren. Hope you're all safe and well and having a good stitchy week. Mine's going good so far, I think. So today we're going to do a stitch with me on... Sorry about that, some idiots are driving past. We're doing a stitch with me on Sunset Koala from the Cross Stitch Studio. So this is where we're starting at. So let's get you zoomed in. Let's get going. So it's a nice cool day here today. Still got the ceiling fans on, but it's cool. I've got a cat hair on here. So it's 29 degrees today. But we are due to warm up again. I think it said Sunday, Tuesday and Wednesday are both going to be 37 degrees. Yippee. Monday I think is going to be 33 or something like that. It's like new, I thought it was over the really hot weather. But never mind. Not much longer now and then we'll be in autumn. I hope. It'll cool down a fair bit then. So I will more likely be jumping here, there and everywhere on this one. As per normal. Doing my cross country. So as I mentioned in my last video, I've got a sewing machine. So I've had a bit of fun trying to make a bag. It's not finished yet, so I will show it. I just need to sew the end up. It's got no zip or anything on it. It's not a very big bag. It's bigger than a, what do you call it? A notions pouch or whatever. It's bigger than that. Maybe. Didn't turn out too bad. My stitching's a little bit to be desired. It's a bit all over the shop, but never mind. For my first attempt, it's not bad. But who knew sewing machines was so much hassle? We're all set up, went to start my sewing. Literally, I've been sewing 2 seconds, broke the needle. Don't ask me how he broke. Broke the needle. My lines are not the straightest. They're a bit higgledy-piggledy. But I think I was going too fast with the sewing machine. Now, trying to run before you can walk kind of thing. So. But yeah, it didn't turn out too disastrous. I haven't got around to trying another one yet. I was going to do one today, but I've been a little bit preoccupied. So it's 11:30 in the morning here at the moment. Been up since 5:30. But I've been doing some stitching. Oh, I'm getting, thank you. So I put a couple of hours into posh robin. And I put about another 2 hours into mini top frog. And I thought I'd better get a stitch with me done. And I get a couple of hours in on this one. I don't know where the bloody cat hairs have come from. Obviously cats, before anyone says anything. I don't know where they've come from, or why they're on here. It's been packed away. Finger's doing okay. It's giving me a little bit of jip this morning. Mind you, I think that's because my splint came off last night. I don't know how I managed to get that to fall off last night, but it did. I woke up, I think it was about 3 o'clock. My finger was a bit sore. And I was like, where's my splint gone? It was under me. I don't know how I managed to get under my belly, but it was there. So yeah, I think I slept on my finger. It's not good. I've got no tales of work. It's been pretty quiet since my last video. Nothing exciting's gone off there. They're so boring. No critters attacking this time. Again. Although I did have to rescue 2 crickets. No, grasshoppers. 1 of them. Tiger had 1. I got up to go into the kitchen to get a drink. And all 3 cats were all in one area. It's like, alright, what you got? Anyway, Tiger had a grasshopper. So I got that off him, threw that out. And then maybe about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, Kitty was making a noise. I was like, oh, what you got? She got a grasshopper. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I had to catch that one, get rid of that one. I don't know if it was the same one, if it managed to come back in again or what, I have no idea. So yeah, so she had a grasshopper. So, just before I start my stitch with me, I was checking Facebook, as you do, and Pink's going on tour, and she's coming to Australia. Yes! So you know what I'm going to be saving up for now. I need a ticket. She's doing 2 shows in Queensland. One's in Brisbane and one's on the Gold Coast. And she's doing it in February next year. So I need to get saving. I need a ticket. God knows how much they're going to cost me. So tickets go on sale February 17th, I think it is. So I'll go and have a look, see how much they are. I did get tickets to see her once before when I was in the UK. Wasn't long after maybe about a year or 2 after she come out. And I had tickets to go and see her. My brother bought me them for Christmas. And then the week before I was due to go and see her. I got a message from the ticketing office saying that they couldn't get tickets. I was like, what? You're the ticketing office, you print the tickets. So yeah, I couldn't get the tickets. So they had to cancel my tickets that I'd booked. And I was like, no. I was so gutted. And then my best mate keeps rubbing it in because he's seen her, I think, 3 times. So this time, hopefully, I'll get to see her. It's only on the Gold Coast, so it's not far. Well, I've got the choice of 2. I can either go to Brisbane or I can go down to the Gold Coast. So yes, so I'm going to see how much those tickets are, and hopefully I can save enough money and get one before they all sell out. Because I'm assuming they'll probably sell out pretty quick. That one wants parking there. So yeah, so excited now. Hopefully I can get some. Right, so this one I have no idea where I'm going to be going because I'm completing it per row. So I'm going to be doing a lot of threading. Don't you hate it when you just get like 2 stitches and that's it, that's all you need? That's a whole new strand just for 2 stitches. I mean, your cotton gets tied up, it makes it even worse. I think I must have forgot to cut this one because this seems to be pulling an awful long strand out. I have. Oh, sugar. Don't you hate it when you do that? I don't know how I managed to do that. Clearly it was when I was on a Zoom and I was doing all the threads for this. I forgot to put them. No, I put all them. Must have just been one that I've missed. I've got that now. Any more that I've missed? Nope. That makes it easier. I've just missed cutting the one, and I happened to find the one I needed cutting. Sorted out. Right. Something. The first piece I've threaded, no problem. This one's been giving me trouble. There we go. Sorted. Now all I have to do is find out where this stitch is. That one. That was easier than I thought. For this one I'm working obviously top down, and I'm picking each colour from a 10x10 block and stitching that colour wherever it goes for one strand. Or in this case for 2 stitches. There's 3,000 of these stitches, and there's only 2 within a big area. Oh well. Never mind. That's what it is. Right, next colour. This one. Let me show this one's cut first. Yep. This one is, yep. Yep. I don't really have much to talk about today, so I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I may not being able to find out where I'm going. There. Should have done this in the first place, how I'm stitching it now. But instead I decided to pick a colour and just run with it and see where it took me. Now for all these little gaps I've got to fill in. That's them. Right down here. That stitch didn't go right by the looks of it. put it in the top instead of in the opposite diagonal. I don't think I've got any questions. I'll have a look in a minute. I can't remember. And I went through this morning and I had a look and I can't remember if I took any screenshots of any. One of those mornings, I guess. This is going to be the silent stitch with me. You can only just see where I am there. Just move you slightly. There we go. Yes. Trying to think of something to talk about. 22 minutes in already. All I've talked about is pink. I got a phone call the other day. What day would it have been? Tuesday. Just before 3 o'clock. Got a phone call from the work cover people. So they're the people who'll be dealing with me while I'm not at work. I already spoke to them before on the phone me up again just to clarify some things because they were a bit perturbed as to my doctor's note. How long he's signed me off for. Well, I don't think what they've realised is he backdated it to when I actually hurt myself. So asking me all these questions and they said they were going to liaise with work and my doctors, and I was like, okay. And then the lady I was speaking to said, I'll send you some information through. I was like, alright, I've already got most of the information, but okay, why not? Where's this? There. Right, let's see how good we are at counting. What do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 3. 3. I'll just park that one there until I've got some more strands around it. So yeah, so she found me up and she said she was going to send me some information out. Now, they have an app so you can track your claim and everything. So she told me to download the app. I said, oh, I've already got the app. She was like, oh, okay. So she says, well, I need you to go in and put in your tax file number. So that's like your, well, it depends where you're from. The UK, it's like your national insurance number. I don't know about in America and stuff like that. But anyway, she wanted my tax file number. So I said to her, I said, I've actually gone in to put that the other day. I says, but it asks if I wanted to claim the tax threshold through them or not. So over here, it's, your tax threshold is, if you claim it, you can earn, you don't pay as much tax. So it's, you're allowed to earn a certain amount before you pay higher tax or something like that. If you don't claim it, then you pay more tax. But when it comes to tax time, at the end of the tax year, you get more back. So I said, well, on it states that you can only claim it through one person who's paying you. And I was like, well, apologies. Sorry about that. Shane phoning me up. Just to sort out his money. So yes, as I was saying, so I asked her what I should do with regards to this tax threshold. Do I claim it or not? Because work's paying me and they're paying work back. So she was like, oh, I can't advise you on that. I'm not trained in tax side of things. I was like, but okay. She says, do whatever you want to. And I was like, well, no, because I need to make sure I do it right, because I don't want to be paying more tax than what I need to be doing. So I thought, right, well, I'll contact work. So HR lady wouldn't have been there at the time after she phoned me. So I contacted her the next day. And I asked her, I says, I understand you're paying me. I said, and they're paying you back. I says, but do I put the tax threshold through them or through you? And she went, I'm not allowed to advise you on that, unfortunately. She says, it's up to you what you want to do. She says, but yes, we are paying you and we'll be paying you tax. She says, but I can't advise you on whether or not to put your claim through them for the tax threshold. It's like, well, you're no bloody good either. So I was like, well, I'm honest to it, I'll just click yes. So, we'll see. I don't seem to have paid any more tax this week, but we'll see how it goes from here on in. Slowly getting all these holes filled in. So anyway, I looked through the documentation that this woman sent me as well. And it says I have to attend rehab in order to get me, like, trying to get me back to work early and stuff like that. And it's like, what rehab can you do for a broken finger? You can't do anything. You've got to wait for it to heal. And then as soon as it's healed, you're back to work. There's not much rehab you can do. Well, yeah. He says he wants me to do rehab. And it's like, okay. And she also said as well that work said that they've got suitable duties that I can attend. That I can do. And it's like, well, that's funny, because when I found them up, they said there weren't any. So she said she was going to liaise with work and see what they say. But the other lad who was off beginning of last year, when he supposedly broke his thumb, he said when he was off, they said that there was no duties that he could do. So he says there won't be any light duties or anything like that, so I have no idea. I thought, well, if there was any light duties, they would have got back to me. So Seeing as I phoned them up and asked them if there was any light duties. And no one's got back to me, so it's like, oh well. I'll leave it to the claims people and work to decide what they're doing. So yeah, I don't think they know what they're doing at that place. Well, the young lad who got sacked, he's now working at McDonald's. I was like, I wonder how long that's going to last. Because he doesn't like working. He's a freeloader. He tries to get everyone to pay for everything and all that lot. So he doesn't like working at all. So we'll see how long he lasts at McDonald's. I'm assuming it probably won't be long before he's sacked from there and all. There. We've got a couple on this one. That's alright then. Question is, which route am I taking? I'll do what I don't normally do, which is off-stitch travelling, whatever you call it. There. I don't think I told you, this is 1/1 on 28 count. Full cross. I can't tell you what percentage I'm at. Because I've already filled half of it in because I'm not stitching the background, which is white. So according to this, I'm at 47.48%. Just for this one ear. So yeah, so it's not an accurate one. I'll look in a second, see if I've got any questions. I think I have one or two. I'm not 100% sure. Well, thanks to everyone as well for giving me tips on using a sewing machine. A good tip I got from someone is go to an op shop or charity shop and get some old quilts or old clothing, and you can practice your machine skills on that. Well, that was a good idea. Didn't think of that one. And Nicole, North Island's teacher, when I made my first bag thing, I showed it in one of our group chats, and she was trying to explain one part, and then she decided she was just going to FaceTime me. When it went off, it was like, oh, she book called me. Sat at the phone and just dialed through the group. She has a habit of sometimes, well, she used to do it a lot. She hasn't done it recently. Just randomly calling by mistake within the group. So I thought, oh, I wonder if she's just hit the button by mistake. But no, she was phoned up to give me some advice. So that was helpful. So I'll have another attempt at it maybe tomorrow or something like that. As I mentioned, we've got this cyclone forming. That's now formed. Cyclone Gabrielle. But I don't think it's going to head inland. I reckon it's going to stay out at sea. So it means we'll just get strong winds and high waves. And Shane was on about the beach thing yesterday. And I was like, yeah, we'll probably just go to, it's called Jacob's Creek, I think. Or Jacob's Well. I can't remember which one it is. Which is more inland. So I turned around and told him I'm not going. Why not? I said, because I'm not going to watch your brother-in-law fish all day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you don't have to, so we can go in the sea and what have you. I says, yeah, but every time we go out, I says, he goes fishing. I says, and if he's not catching anything, we've got to move and we've got to go somewhere else so he can try and catch fish. I said, and he still doesn't catch anything, and so we've got to move somewhere else. I said, and then we can't leave because we've got to wait for him to finish fishing. And I said, well, take 2 cars. He says, then leave when you want to. And I was like, yeah, no, I can't be bothered. So I don't think we're going to the beach. Mind you, I suppose it depends what happens with this cyclone, whether it does change course. So I reckon it's going to stay off coast and then head towards New Zealand. There's an area out near New Zealand where they call it the cyclone graveyard. It's where most cyclones end. So it's in between Australia and New Zealand or something like that. So I'm hoping it turns around and comes back in. We'll see. Some birds having to go at each other. Sounds like lorikeets. Trying to see what it was. Can't see. And that's that for that one. It's the only thing when you're going all over the place, trying to find somewhere to anchor your thread to when you're finished. Right, next colour. No, actually, before I pick my next colour, let's have a look, see if I've got any questions. I don't think I do. And there's this one from Sharon Marie on the last stitch with me. I put a picture of me and Tia at the end. And she said she imagined me to be around about 6 foot. Which reminds me of what Tia said. She said she looked taller on videos. No, I'm only, well, I thought I was 5'8.5". Well, obviously I seem to have shrunk. I'm only 5'7.5" now, according to the doctors. So since getting over here, I've shrunk. Happy Trekker asked if I could do a video of how I film my stitch with me's. So, well, I can't do a video of how I do my stitch with me's, but I'll do a little clip at the end, if I remember, of how I get it, how I got it all set up for doing my stitch with me's. 3, 3, 5, 4. So yeah, I'll insert a little video at the end of how I'm all set up. So it's not exactly a question, but Neil said with regards to my brother's piece, it's a shame that you can see the grid lines through it. Will they wash out? Yeah, will they dissolve in the wash? So yeah, they will come out in the wash. So they will come out in the wash once it's finished, but it's not the fact that I can see the grid lines. That doesn't bother me, that part. Because like I say, when I did Mini Deer Creek the first time around, that one you could see the grid lines through the light colours on that one, and they washed out no problem. So I know they're going to wash out, but it's the fact that I can see personally myself like grid lines from the stitching. So yeah, so that's why I'm going to change the way I'm stitching it. I have worked a little bit on it this week, and by a little bit I mean I put in 200 stitches. That's all I've put in it so far. Might do some more of it tomorrow. Just want to get to the end of that row, so then I can get to stitching how I prefer to stitch. What I'll probably do is finish the row of the page that I'm on, and then go back to how I normally stitch, instead of trying to get all the way to the end of the full row. So I think I've still got another page and a bit to go, so I'll just get to the end of the row and then change back to how I normally stitch, I think. Then that's going to be fun tying in all those park threads. The park thread. It's good job I don't mind parking, isn't it? And next colour. Oh, we've got a bit of this one, that's okay. Alright. What you doing, kitty? I've got a visitor. Nope, she's going again. Oh, I know what she wants. Look, it's not overly warm here. I think she wants under a cover. Under here. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to be doing a fair bit of editing on this one. Right, where are we here? Yep, there she goes, under the covers. I knew she would. So Dawn wants to know if I use my Lowry stand even if it's a small piece. Or do I hold it so I can stitch two-handed, or do I just hold the Q-snap? So I always use the Lowry stand. Unless Tiger's on my knee and he won't let me stitch, which happens more often than not, then I'll try and hold the Q-snap in my hand and do one-handed stitching. I don't like that way though. So 9 out of 10, yeah, I use my Lowry stand with, so I can do the two-handed stitching. Goes a lot faster. Not bad to say I never used to use two hands. I always used to hold, well, it used to be a hoop then. Hold the hoop and stitch, or I even used to stitch in hand. But I can't seem to stitch in hand very well nowadays. I tried it on one project not long since. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Well, I could do it, but it wasn't very good. But yeah, I always used to stitch in hand or in a hoop. But 9 out of 10 it was in hand stitching. And then obviously watching floss tubes, and everyone's using Q-snaps and what have you. And then doing two-handed stitching. I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I prefer it. So, yeah. My native wolf, Northern Lights, which is the wolves on the black fabric, the Janling kit. That one, my first time round, that one was all stitched in hand. Second time round, it's all in a Q-snap. Nearly headbutted the camera then. Come on, alright, there, thank you. One stitch in the middle somewhere that I haven't got. There it is. And then where are we going? We will go round that way, I think. What do I want there? The thing when you're not being gridded fabric, it's not as easy to find your stitch that you want. Don't want both of them. But I'm coping. Yeah, that spoiled as well, gridded fabric. I say all my starting pieces was obviously plain fabric. I learned to count on them properly, so, but yeah, since we're going on to gridded fabric, it kind of spoils you. You get used to using the grid. And I've knocked the Lowry stand is shaking now, so I'm hoping it's not shaking too much on the camera. It is. I might have to sort that out in a second. Another edit to take out. Give me a second, I'll get that sorted out. Right, there we go. Hopefully it won't shake as much now. See if I've got any more questions. And that's it. Okay, we're out of questions. And Shane phoned me up yesterday on the way home from work. Told me he was going over to his sister's because his sister had an appointment, but she can't drive at night time. I don't know why. She used to be fine at driving, and then all of a sudden she started having like panic attacks. So she has to drive at night time, she can't do it. Or if you go on a motorway, she can't do it. Doctors can't figure out why she's all of a sudden started having him, because she never used to. She used to drive everywhere, and the doctor can't figure out why. So it's possibly all in her head. So yeah, so she can't, I don't know why, she just can't cope with driving at night time or anything like that. So she had an appointment and it got changed. So it should have been at 5 o'clock, and then it got changed to 5:30. Now 5 o'clock she was fine with, because she knew she would be home before it got dark. 5:30, she was like, I don't know if I'm going to be home in time. She says, no, I don't want to risk it. So she asked Shane if he'd take her. So he had to go to her house, pick her up in her car, take her to where she needed to be, then come back here, wait till she'd finished with her appointment, pick her up, take her back home, and then pick our car back up, and then come back home. So she was actually finished by 6:20, 6:15. And it was still light, so it doesn't normally get dark in summer till about 7 o'clock. So she would have been fine. So Shane got a free Subway out of it, so he was happy. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing in my update video at the weekend as well, because I forgot to take pictures of half of these before I started stitching on them. So I'm going to have to go in and get the pictures off last weekend's video, so I can show where I started from. So you can see what progress I've made. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, and that lines up with that, which is perfect. So I counted that one right, or I counted these ones right, or I counted them both wrong. Ew, that's good. Huh? Alright, so it's going to be fun because one of these is counted incorrectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, it's right. I've just not marked one of the stitches off. That's alright then. I thought I'd gone wrong then. I was about to cry. One, two, three. Alright. I think the stitch with me is going to be a short one today. So it's the only thing when you don't go anywhere. You don't have much to talk about. Well, someone obviously wants me. Oh. Kim's obviously just watching last week's. No, Tuesday's. No, last week's stitch with me. She's a little bit behind. She's congratulated me on my raise. So yeah, she's obviously a little bit behind on the stitch with me. Alright, I think that's that. In the next page. So I think when you got a brown stitch which is nearly the same colour as the fabric. 1, 2, there. Luckily I spotted it. Right, so I think we'll call that today. I've no idea how long this video is. I'm going to say I've had to stop it a couple of times and I'm going to end up having to cut some bits out of it. So it's either going to be about an hour long or it's going to be a lot shorter. But I don't seem to have got many stitches in. I know 145 stitches in on this one today, but never mind. I'm going to say it's going to get some more work in a minute anyway after we're finished. I'll get the video edited and uploaded. So again guys, if you do have any questions or comments, then please feel free to drop those down below. You can always email me. Email address is always dizzystitcher@gmail.com, or I'm on Instagram @dizzystitcher. So yeah, if you're watching this and you want to do the Zoom, there is a Zoom on Sunday. I've already set that up in the Facebook group for the America time zones. But again, if you are up and you want to join in, then feel free. So again, if you're not on Facebook and you are interested, then let me know. So that'll be at 10 o'clock my time, Brisbane time. So whatever that is, wherever you are. So that's it from me then, guys. So hopefully 2 stitch with me again next week. Maybe I'll have something to talk about. And update on Saturday. So until next time, guys, stay safe, take care, happy stitching, and thank you very much for watching this watch me sew and make things wrong. Or whatever you want to call this one, the silent stitch with me. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching, take care, bye bye for now. Okay guys, you wanted to see how I set up my stitchy for doing my stitch with me. So as you can see, that's the project I'm working on. Sleeping koala, sunset koala, sleeping koala. So obviously I've got my threads out already. My tablet for my pattern keeper, and my scissors. Itchy nose. And then that's mine all set up in my Lowry stand. So that one I'm using the 11x11 Q snap. And then my Lowry stand's just under the leg of the sofa, just down there. And then I have my camera arm, which goes all the way down to the table. which I have to bring in really, really close so that it reaches. So yeah, there's not much gap in between. So hence the reason why I keep headbutting everything. So there's the camera. Well, my old phone, that's the camera. So where I sit, my head stops like there. So that's why half the time I keep headbutting it. You can go a bit higher, but I like it so that I can get zoomed in enough for you. That's my bag of goodies from the other day. So my balls of wool and fabric for what Tia made me buy. And there's my projects that I've been working on this week. So just a couple. But yeah, so that's how I'm set up for my Stitch with me's. So nothing over exciting, but that's it. Alright guys.